Well, good morning, everybody, on Monday, the 8th of March, 2021. Looks like we're fixing to get a change in the weather here. Cool and damp this morning rather than cool and bright. Good weekend, and I enjoyed preaching yesterday morning, and I trust the message was a blessing to those who heard it. Good Bible study from on the end times last night, as we looked at Here Comes the Beast, the Antichrist and the false prophet, and the role they're going to play. Next we'll be looking, in the Bible study, we'll be looking back into what's going on in heaven during this time. And then next Sunday morning, God willing, I'll be preaching from 1 Peter, casting all your cares on him, a message that the Lord gave me over the weekend. So looking forward to a good week. Wednesday night Bible study and prayer, we'll be looking at a prayer of thanksgiving from Psalm 136. So looking forward to a good week, and looking forward to all that God is going to teach us through the week. If you want to be praying, keep praying for my echo. I still haven't gotten the echo done, so I can't see my cardiologist unless I get it before Friday. And just keep praying for each other. I was reading, Mary and I were reading last night. We were in 3 John, as we're doing a reading plan that we're reading through the epistles and the book of Acts in the New Testament. And we got to 3 John last night. And I remind, I love all the epistles of John. I love 2 John. I love 3 John. I got down to verse 9 of 3 John. Read about 2 men, Diotrophes and Demetrius. And I was challenged by that because, these are examples of the kind of people we can be. Diotrophes on one side and Demetrius on the other. Paul said he'd written to the church, but Diotrophes, the church he was writing to there in that church, loves to have preeminence among them. He wouldn't receive John. He said, therefore, if I come, I will call to mind his deeds, which he does. He's prating against us with malicious words. He's not content with that. He does not receive the brethren. He forbids those who wish to, putting them out of the church. Diotrophes was an arrogant, self-serving leader in the church here. He had to have the preeminence. He had to be the guy who was on top. He opposed Paul's ministry because Paul was popular. He wouldn't receive any real brethren, and those who disagreed with him, he put them out of the church. Rough guy. We may not be at that point, but how are we when it comes to loving the brethren? Who comes first, others or us? Who gets the priority? Somebody else, or do we get the priority in life? Diotrophes is one of those who love to have the preeminence, love to have first place. On the other hand, in verse 11, the transition verse, beloved, do not imitate what is evil, but what is good. He who does good is of God. He who does evil has not seen God. He talks about Demetrius. Demetrius has a good testimony from all and from the truth itself. And we also bear witness, and our testimony is true. Now, we don't hear much about Demetrius except that Paul had a good testimony from all the brethren, and Demetrius had a good testimony based on the word of God. Just a challenge for this week. Let's be careful that we are more like Demetrius than like Diotrophes. Diotrophes loved to have the preeminence. He had to be first. Demetrius had a good testimony from all the saints and from the word of God. Are we Diotrophes or are we Demetriuses this week in our lives? Let's examine our lives and see what we're doing for the cause of Christ. Demetrius was a blessing to the cause of Christ. He was a blessing to the church, a blessing to his brethren. He lived by the word of God. Diotrophes, on the other hand, had to be the big guy. Anybody who got in his way, he knocked them out. Diotrophes or Demetrius? Which one am I? Which one are you? What a challenge it is, isn't it? To have the right kind of heart, right kind of spirit. It's not about me. It's about others. We need to be preferring each other above ourselves, putting each other first, and not having to have first place. God bless you guys. Have a wonderful week. We'll be back, God willing, tomorrow morning.